Welcome you. Today we're going on a bit of a chilling journey. We're looking into the world of prisons, places most of us never see, and some really unsettling things that happen there. And sometimes, well, the fear doesn't stay locked inside. We've got true stories from people who've really been through it, officers, even some unexpected explorers.
Yeah, and what's really striking about these accounts is how they go beyond just, physical danger. They dig into the psychological side, confronting real malevolence, that profound feeling when your safety just evaporates. It shows how terror can pop up in places you'd never expect.
Exactly. So our mission today: unpack these harrowing stories, pull out the most disturbing bits, and really get into what makes them so frightening. Get ready for a deep dive that might make you rethink fear itself. Okay, let's start with this one account. It's from a female corrections officer back when she was starting out. It was one of the country's oldest county jails. She even called the layout the condos, said it had this creepy linear layout. Kind of sets the scene, right?
Yeah, the condos. That's an interesting choice of words for a jail.
Right. And while she was there, she dealt with this inmate, Michaels, a quadruple murderer. He apparently called his crime a butchering. When they found him, just soaked in blood, he apparently just said, totally flat, "It's obvious I just killed everyone." No emotion.
Wow.
Yeah. So deemed volatile, put in an observation cell, he'd just sit there watching everyone, silently. The only time he'd apparently talk was when these big goth girls visited, claiming they were in love with him, and he drew pictures of fat female COs, correctional officers.
That complete lack of remorse,
Yeah.
the way he described the crime, it just screams dangerous personality. Deeply unsettling, even compared to other violent criminals. That kind of detachment, it's often linked to, well, severe psychopathy. Life just doesn't seem to register as valuable.
Okay, but here's where it gets really, really weird. One day, she's working utilities, so like supplies, maintenance, less direct inmate stuff, and she's telling this long personal story to another officer. Quietly, mind you, about 50 yards away from Michael's cell. Later, she walks past his door. He whispers her name.
A name he shouldn't have known.
Exactly. She didn't know how he knew it. She leans in and he recites her entire story back to her, word for word. And get this, he copied her voice, even her slight lisp.
No way.
Yeah. She said she just felt this pure terror, thinking this is evil and unfixable. And then he just bursts out laughing hysterically.
That is deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
How does someone get that kind of detail from that distance? I mean, she mentioned inmates playing mind games, even being damn good lip readers, but she felt this was different.
She described it as feeling like she was dealing with something not human.
It's that psychological violation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using intimate details as a weapon, that uncanny observation skills you sometimes see. It's designed purely to shatter you. It's not just about physical threats anymore.
Right. And just as a note, Michaels is apparently on death row now.
Right.
Refuses to appeal, says it's not out of remorse.
Chilling, just chilling.
So after that whole ordeal, understandably, she leaves. Takes a job working for an accountant, hoping for something, normal. First day, she finds out the giant beige warehouse she's working in, it's actually a privatized prison.
Oh, wow. Talk about out of the frying pan.
Seriously, and the entrance sounds bizarre. A thick chain on the door, a sturdy metal screen, guys inside with crazed and excited looks just scanning her up and down.
That immediately sounds like red flags everywhere. Privatized prisons can sometimes have issues, especially with oversight, and the details she shared seem to back that up, like finding a quarter of the inmates testing positive for drugs or alcohol randomly. That's huge.
Yeah, and that horrifying incident, an inmate just literally walked out, stole a van, abducted, raped, beat his girlfriend, and the staff showed zero remorse.
It paints a picture of really severe mismanagement, a total lack of accountability.
Plus, the layout itself was dangerous. She had to walk right through the main inmate area just to use the bathroom. She said she ended up just not eating or drinking all day to avoid it.
That's completely unacceptable, a basic disregard for staff safety.
So amidst all this, her boss, who she actually described as kindly, sort of father-like, tries to, cheer her up. He sets her up with a German pen pal.
Who turns out to be an inmate, an older, obese black man. He hands her a note in German. Then, first really unsettling thing. He corners her outside the staff bathroom, asking about his letter.
Uh-oh, crossing boundaries already.
Big time. And then it escalates. She gets a letter from him at her home address.
What? How did he get that?
No idea. Huge security lapse. And the letter Super creepy, claiming he's a sexy black man, asking for pictures, asking her to sneak tobacco in for him.
Okay, this went from weird to genuinely threatening very quickly. That's stalking territory.
Definitely. And the breaking point came when he actually walked into her office, locked the door behind him, and just asked, "Did you get my letters?"
Whoa, locked the door.
Yep. She stood her ground, told him never to contact her or come in her office again. And then, weirdly, he gave this really sincere apology, but she was done. Quit right then and there, totally traumatized.
I don't blame her at all. That's terrifying.
But the story isn't quite over. It flashes forward to her life now. And she has this echo of the Michaels thing. Her motion-activated porch light goes off late at night. She hears the doorknob turn, someone fiddling with it. Later, finds a hand-rolled cigarette butt on the porch.
Oh, that's deeply unsettling. Does she know if the pen pal...
She doesn't know if he's still in jail or not. So that fear, that specific fear, it's followed her right to her doorstep. Shows how long these things can stick with you.
Absolutely. That constant vigilance, the lasting shadow, it's profound.
Okay, let's shift to another story. Different female correctional officer. This happened when she was really young, just 20. Barely off of probation, as she put it. She's working the night shift. Alone, in a pod designed for direct inmate supervision, housing 72 inmates.
Wait, alone with 72 inmates, what were the protocols?
State law apparently required one officer for every 48 inmates.
So, massively understaffed. And she mentioned the inmates were all mixed up together.
Yeah, making it unpredictable, highly vulnerable, a disaster waiting to happen, really.
Definitely. That's ignoring basic safety rules.
So one night, around midnight, she's doing her rounds, checking doors. The day room looks empty, quiet. She's actually enjoying the brief peace and quiet. She starts heading down the stairs, suddenly loud pounding on the pod door. It's another officer, Officer Smith. He's pointing like frantically at the bottom of the store.
Okay, what did she see?
She looks, and this large, well-muscled inmate darts out from behind the stairs, completely naked, runs across the day room.
Naked? Where did he come from?
He had apparently been hiding behind a shower curtain, then snuck over to wait under the stairs. The assumption was, well, he was going to ambush her.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. What happened to him?
Here's the kicker. He apparently just played it off as a prank.
A prank? Are you serious?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
And nothing was done to him.
That is infuriating. A complete failure of accountability. That wasn't a prank. That was a potential assault. At minimum, a serious threat. And no consequences.
None reported. She said, to this day, she's still hyper-vigilant about stairways when she does rounds. Always wondering what could have happened if Officer Smith hadn't shown up right then.
Of course. That kind of near miss stays with you. It reinforces that feeling of vulnerability, especially when the system meant to protect you fails like that.
Okay, next one. This is different. It involves someone outside the prison system, at least initially. A woman recovering from mental illness, attending group therapy. Another person in the group mentions her brother's in prison, says he's lonely, asks if our narrator would write to him.
Okay. Setting up contact with an inmate.
Right. The narrator politely says no. Doesn't feel comfortable.
Good boundary setting.
You'd think. But a few weeks later, the sister just hands her 5 or 6 letters from the inmate anyway.
Wow. Just disregarded her refusal entirely.
Completely. So she takes them home, reads them, and finds out the sister told the inmate all about me. And he's written that he wants to be with me when he gets out.
Whoa.
And be my son's new daddy.
Oh, that is incredibly creepy. Especially given her vulnerability and the fact she explicitly said no. That's a huge violation.
Yeah, she described it as so creepy. She told the sister she was uncomfortable. Please make it stop.
Did the sister listen?
Apparently, the sister just brushed it off, insisted it wasn't creepy. Months go by, and then another letter arrives.
Still pushing it.
Oh, yeah. Still professing his desperate love, thinking of her constantly, now claiming he is her son's father, asking her to be his girlfriend.
This is harassment, plain and simple, and deeply concerning. He sounds completely fixated.
Exactly. The narrator is now genuinely scared of this guy, terrified of him getting out, trying to find her or her son. Shows how something seemingly innocent can just spiral.
Absolutely. It highlights the dangers of unwanted attention, especially when one party feels entitled despite clear rejection, and the power imbalance is significant.
Let's move to another story. This one comes from someone whose father was a guard back in the 60s near Miami. The father described this one particular prisoner as being a lot like a younger Hannibal Lecter. You know, calm on the surface, but menacing, always seemed in control.
That description alone is chilling. Young Lecter sets a specific tone.
It does. And apparently, this inmate, the young Lecter, had this uncanny ability. He could start a full-blown prison riot just by talking to people.
So it's by talking. He didn't even participate.
Nope. Just motivating the other prisoners into a frenzy, got every other prisoner to start a fight. He himself stayed out of it.
That's a terrifying level of psychological manipulation. Orchestrating chaos from the sidelines.
So the father and other guards go in to break it up. Total chaos. Inmates screaming, throwing themselves at walls, shouting obscenities. The whole cell block is going nuts, except one guy.
Let me guess. Lecter.
Exactly. He was the only quiet one, standing near the back of his cell, hands folded, just staring. As the father gets closer to the cell, Lecter looks him right in the eyes and starts muttering a random sequence of numbers with this weird little smile.
Numbers? What numbers?
It took the father a second, then the horror hit him. The prisoner was reciting his home phone number over and over.
Oh my God, that is pure psychological warfare.
Right, from inside a cell.
That's the terror. It breaches the supposed safety of the outside world. It says, I can reach you anywhere. It's not just about physical harm. It's about invading your personal space, your sanctuary, with just information.
Yep.
Calculated, chilling malevolence.
Yeah, leaves a mark, I imagine. Okay, final story. This one takes us to Europe. It's from a teenager. Their private American school was located right below an abandoned prison, and right next to that, a real active prison.
Okay, that's quite a location combo. Abandoned prison next to an active one.
Yeah. So over months, this teen and their friends figure out how to break into the abandoned one, exploring, taking photos for art projects, teenager stuff. They described it as vast, eerie inside, found what looked like maybe a labor factory, floors covered in shoe soles, rooms painted weirdly vivid colors, mattresses stacked up.
Sounds like a typical creepy abandoned place exploration at first.
At first. Then one night, they decide to try and reach the roof. It's late, they're climbing higher, pitch black, up this zigzag staircase with no railing.
Sketchy already.
Gets sketchier. At the end of each zigzag turn, there are these holes in the wall, like tiny slits you have to squeeze and pull yourself through. Our narrator goes first.
What was behind the holes?
She described them as box-like confinements, cells basically, and inside, horrifying stuff. Pornography plastered all over the walls, tissues, injection needles.
Whoa, okay, so not so abandoned. Needles suggest drug use, at least.
And then she found a notebook. A worker's log, written in a foreign language she happened to understand. The most recent entry, 2 days ago.
2 days. Definitely not abandoned. Someone was actively using those cells recently.
Exactly. That's when it hit her. This abandoned prison wasn't abandoned at all. It was being used for something.
And given the contents of the cells,
What?
probably nothing good. That level of secrecy, the nature of the items, deeply unsettling. What were they using it for?
Well, they finally pushed through the last opening onto the roof. Huge relief, right? Thinking the worst is over. Then her friend just freezes, senses someone else is there.
Oh no.
5 men emerge, described as having pumped arms, sweatpants, bandanas, and swastikas on their arms.
Swastikas. Okay, this just went from unsettling to extremely dangerous. Neo-Nazis.
Seems likely. And they were speaking that same foreign language the narrator understood. At their feet, black gym bags. The men open the bags. Inside, guns and a ton of rolled up cash.
They stumble into an arms deal, an illegal firearms deal, in an abandoned prison.
Precisely, an illicit firearm deal.
Oh my God. Those kids were in immediate life or death danger. Organized crime, armed individuals. Yeah, the men started talking about what to do with them. Debating, like roughing them up or taking us to Gustav. Whoever Gustav is, it didn't sound good. Highlights that extreme vulnerability, wrong place, wrong time. Facing brutal reality.
Totally. But the narrator thinks fast, comes up with plan C, escape, over the roofs. Just then, one of the men's phones rings. That's her chance. She screams, "Follow me!" to her friend, and they just start jumping, building to building, trying to get down.
Adrenaline must have been insane.
Had to be. They eventually make it to the ground, start sprinting towards a main road, but then they hear shouting behind them and barking dogs.
Oh man, security.
Security from the real, active prison next door must have seen them jumping on the roofs.
So now they're caught between armed dealers and prison guards.
Looks like it. But she has one more burst of quick thinking. She screams at the actual prison guards in the foreign language they understand. There's men and they've got guns.
Brilliant. Divert attention.
Exactly. The guards immediately shift focus towards the armed group on the roof. That gives the teenagers the window they need to just melt away into the city center. Get out of there.
Wow. That's an incredible presence of mind in a terrifying situation. Did they report it?
Nope. Never reported it, never went back. But she said the thought still haunts her. That roof could easily have been the last thing I saw.
I can only imagine. What a story.
So wrapping up, these stories, they really hammer home how thin that line can be between feeling safe and being in danger, between sanity and, well, terror. Whether it's psychological games from inmates or literally stumbling into a gun deal in a place you thought was empty, the world definitely holds secrets that can mess with your whole understanding of fear.
Yeah. And what stands out across all of them is that lasting impact. The vigilance the officers still feel, the trauma, that constant what if. It really makes you think, how do you process encountering something that feels truly evil or just dangerously broken? And how do you protect yourself when threats pop up where you absolutely least expect them, even from within systems designed supposedly for security?
It leaves you with that kind of provocative question, doesn't it? Are we ever truly safe? Or are there just these hidden layers of danger all around waiting for someone to accidentally peel them back? Definitely something to think about. If these stories got under your skin, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Deep Dive. We'll keep exploring the surprising, the fascinating, and the truly unsettling.